Good afternoon. Today we will be working with the reference tab on a word processing document. So we are going to focus only on citations and bibliography. Right. So I am going to open a new Word document that we can use to do our citations on. Right, I'm just gonna zoom a little bit. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly type the topic, citations, and the bibliography. Right, we can also add today's date. Right, so that we remember the first lesson. Right, okay, I'm going to underline that just to make it look more neat and organized. And then I am going to use the formula to do a randomly generated text about videos. I'm going to click enter. Right, so remember the term plagiarism, which is an act of copying someone else's work and presenting as your own, which is actually considered a crime. So we use the reference tab to cite the authors or to cite the sources that we take the information that we want to use in our own research, our own path, and then just to acknowledge them and not make it look like as if you are stealing their work. Remember, it is a crime. You don't just copy someone else's work and present it as your own. You must acknowledge the people who worked so hard to publish their materials on websites, book, journal articles, etc. Right? So say maybe in case the first paragraph, this one that I'm going to select now, you wanted to use it and you want to acknowledge whoever published that paragraph or the material in that paragraph or whatever it is within that paragraph. Or say maybe it's a quote that you want to acknowledge, then you must make use of the references tab so that you cite the sources, and then at the end of the document you then insert an automatic list of bibliography. Right, so the citations, when you use them, they will then generate something called the in-text citations. Right, so this is where now you find the surname of the author of that particular book or whoever published that particular website together with the year of publication. So to do that, you make use of the references tab. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to remove the full stop on the first paragraph. I'm going to click end space so that we can add our citation. Right, so I'm going to click on the references tab. So as you can see, we'll be making use of the citations and bibliography section. Right, so when you click on insert citations, as you can see, this document doesn't have sources as yet. If there were sources cited, you were going to see them here, right? So because we will be entering or will be citing new sources, then it means you must select the first option that says add new source. There you go. After clicking on it, you will have this window, right? And then now you have to check the type of the material that you're using or the type of the material that you want to acknowledge. If it's a book, then leave it as a book. If it's a website, then you have to click on this down arrow and select the correct material that you want to cite. Right, so let's start with a website. I'm going to select the website, and then now you can start entering the name and the surname of the author. So if it happens that you have more than one author, it is advisable for you to make use of the edit option so that you can add them in order. Right, so what I'm going to do now is just to click on edit, and then now you'll be able to enter the last, which is the surname, and also the first of that particular author. So I am going to make use of just random surnames and names just to make this quick. So I will start off with my surname. There you go. And then I will then enter the first name. This is not my first name, by the way, but there you go. You don't have to enter the middle name if the middle name is not mentioned in that particular source. Then after adding that, you just click on add. When you click on add, you will see the name, the surname appearing on the names section, right? And then I said you can use this if you have more than one author, right? Let's add the second author. For the second author, I'm going to use another surname of mine again, and I won't be using my names still, but then there you go. And then when you are done, you just click add. So as you can see, the names of the authors will then be moved into the names section because you have now added them, right? And then now you can just click OK. So you can see them typed like that in order, right? Then now, because we have selected a website, we must then indicate the name of the web page that we, or whatever web page that you want to cite, that you have used in your pet, that you want to acknowledge, right? Right, so the name of the web page, we can just indicate, can just make it up, cat lessons. Okay, so the name of the web page will be cat lessons, and then the name of the website, it's learning about cat. Learning about cat. Okay. And then the year of publication, let's say it was published this year in 2025. The month, it was in June. Okay. The date could be the 24th. And then the URL, here you have to indicate the uniform resource locator, which is the link that can then redirect whoever wants to verify that source to that particular web page. So we can just add anything here, https catlessons.org.za. There you go. So this doesn't exist but for learning purposes. Right, then I'm gonna click OK. After clicking OK, you will have something like this, right? So when you hover the mouse on that, you can see that this is not something that has been typed manually. This is an in-text citation that was entered automatically using the references tab, right? And remember, we used a website. And then now, when you have that, you are then able to now generate the list of bibliography. And another thing, remember what I said when I said in the insert citation, there was nothing first because there were no citations in this document. But now when you go back and check, you can see that now you have a reference, right? There you go. Now let's insert our list of bibliography. So as you can see, before you do that, it may happen that in the test they ask you, or in the exam they ask you to make use of a certain reference style. All right, sometimes they can say set the reference style to Harvard, set the reference style to APA 6th edition or Chicago, etc. Right? So before you insert the list of bibliography or your references, you have to make sure that you check if the correct reference style is selected. So as you can see, when you click on the down arrow here next to styles, you can see APA 6th edition, Chicago, Harvard, MLA, etc. Right? So now you need to verify that first. So here for now, we're going to select APA 6th edition, and then we're going to locate the end of the document, meaning after the last paragraph, right? Usually when you insert your list of bibliography, it should be on a new page. But then here, because of just for learning purposes, it can be in the same page. Okay, so what you're going to do now, you will then go click on bibliography, and then you'll have those options. Okay, so either one, bibliography or references, you can use it, right? and then now you just have to click on it, and remember, this is the source that we cited. So it means every time when you add a new source, you will then have to come back to the table, and then you update the citations and the bibliography. I hope that was very helpful. Bye.